Now, this episode of Unsolved Mysteries is not really like lost media, to be honest, but it technically is lost media. I think I'll tell you when we get to the video. If you grew up in the late 70s and early 80s, chances are you might have went into a place called Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. It is a chain of family entertainment centers and restaurants founded by Nolan Bushnell on May 17th, 1977. Now let's jump into the early 2000s when Chuck E. Cheese's became a shadow of its former self. Even though the era is a hit or miss in my opinion, it definitely had some really good merchandise, and one interesting piece of merchandise is a figurine set from that era that is so interesting in fact that it's not that well documented. There have been Chuck E. Cheese sets from 1983 and 1994, but what people don't know that there was a Chuck E. Cheese set based off of the 2000s era in 2003. This set includes 4 variants of Chuck, but it also includes Pasquale, Helen, and Jasper. Not much is known about this set in particular, except for the fact that they came with some plastic Chuck E. Cheese coins as like their base. The figurines on display were the only pictures that I could find for this set, until I stumbled across this photo that came from an eBay listing that shows all the figures in much better quality. Though at the time, I could only find a low quality shot, so we didn't have a really good look at Pasquale. But what I did realize was that there was a Mr. Munch in that set that did not appear in the display. I desperately wanted to find higher quality images of these figurines, so I went, did some major research, and found a Japanese eBay website called Stimpy.jp. The seller on this site has most of these figurines, even though he is missing Munch and Pasquale, but more on that later. But he or she did release the figurines in much better quality, so we can take a look at all of the ones are selling. Skater Chuck may be my favorite Chuck in this set. I mean, he definitely resembles that of the Avenger era outfit, except he has a roller skating helmet and, of course, the roller skates. He does look a bit decent, even if he's missing his buck tooth. This photo of Chucky with the red t-shirt looks kind of lame in my opinion. And personally, this specific version of Chuck just doesn't really look good and rad. But that's just my personal opinion. I mean, if you like Chuck with the red shirt, then I guess he's a pretty cool figure, even if he's missing his buck teeth. Here is Rockstar Chuck. He doesn't really look too bad, definitely looks better than the previous Chuck. I mean, I have never seen this particular Chuck in that outfit before, so I guess it's a little bit unique. This is an alright figurine of Chuck in his soccer outfit, and as you can see, he's kicking a soccer ball. Actually, this specific design of Chuck is actually based off of a artwork that has been used at the restaurants. Helen is a pretty atrocious figurine. I mean, not only does she have a really bad paint job, but also her face looks really off and definitely not a good figurine in this set. Jasper actually has a really good sculpt, but my only complaint is that his head is not painted brown and it just kind of looks awkward when it's not painted. I really love the sculpt, but I'm a little questionable about his unpainted head. So that's the set that the seller has. I could contact them to see if they have Pasquale or Munch, but the problem is that they might not speak English, so that's probably going to be off the table. I looked back on the sold eBay listing that had all the figures in the set, and I found a much bigger photo of that exact photo, so we have a much better look at Munch and Pasquale. And I know this is coming from a weird view, but I'm pretty sure that Pasquale and Munch look really great, betterly painted than the others, and probably the best in the set. Unfortunately, this is the only high quality screenshot of Pasquale and Munch that I could get. See, this is a true example on like not documenting, a specific merchandise or set, just because if it falls into obscurity, not a lot of people will know a lot of information of them or any like good screenshots of them. I'm kind of glad that we have websites like showbizpizza.com and Forest of Illusion because they preserve many types of media. And hopefully when this set becomes much more popular in demand, maybe we'll find better quality images of Pasquale and Munch. You can try and find them on eBay, but then again, they're extremely rare to come by, and we're so lucky that we even got a screenshot of all of the figurines in the set. In fact, without that image, I wouldn't even know that there was a Mr. Munch in the set. So until we get better screenshots of the Pasquale and Munch figurines, this set will remain a mystery.